Hello G Nation, we got a brand new character preview and this time it is Mutated Giant Monstrous Mountain. So he is a technician, part of the mutant event obviously. His coachability at 18,000, take 30% less damage from black move and any color move starting MP reduced by 1 for your opponent. He has links with the other mutants and the modern era, and no gear. Now, to note, he's going to be the trial character this month, so you guys are going to get him in a few hours at 3 p.m. I believe, Eastern, or noon Pacific. He's going to be trial character, and his full release will be on Friday. Now, the first moveset we'll have a look at is the Mutated Giant and Butt. 10 MP green move. Finisher deals 111k plus 36.7k bonus damage for every immobile gem and pin the opponent. The two-handed choke slam. 8 MP green move. Deal 90.5k damage and choose 3 rows to make into immobile gems. And the mutated body slam stomp. 3 MP yellow move. Deal 38.9k damage and make 28 immobile gems into green gems. Trainers will use for that Steel, so that we start with 4 more MP. Breeze, so that we start with another 2 MP for the green. And we got both Ogun and Eddie adding each 50% damage to those immobile gem, mainly for that finisher, but it's also going to help when we're going to turn, if we get to the point where we need to turn some green gems there. Now, to note, the main issue I see with this moveset is its MP cost. You don't really have a low move that's going to give you your green. You kind of got to start with the high cost green to get going. The low cost move is basically a move you're going to use if you don't already win with your finisher, which will likely be the case. And that's what reloads it. But you kind of got to get your green going, which is like you need 10 MP to get going. That is high cost. It's going to work now on the first turn because this is a tour. So you get the perk bonus that adds +3. But if this was a feud, you couldn't do anything on the first turn. You would need to get a green match. And if you don't, well, you're going to have a problem. And you better not face a guy that is turn 1 because he's going to whoop your ass. So let's have a look. We'll see how this does in a match. I suspect it's going to do pretty well. Oh, I forgot to show you my strap though. Standard strap, I did put the plate that is whenever you break 3 or more green and make 7 blacks into yellow. Not really needed, but I mean, if you need to cycle for a while, that could be useful. The only important thing here I have is the takedown medal for the green moves, which ideally I would have gone with armor instead of takedown, but I didn't have a green armor medal. It was either Fury or takedown. Don't really care much about Fury for this build, so I went with takedown instead. Right. He has that orb thingy. So we're going to start by laying our 3 rows of immobile gems. Ideally, you want to put them when they're, well, doesn't even matter really. Put them where they're going to match with other greens. Now we're going to have 21 extra gem, making 73,000 bonus damage, plus 268. That should be well over 1.5 million. Actually, should be like 1.7 or something. Oh, that move was nice. Animation was cool. 1.8 mil. That should be enough. And you don't really even get to use that yellow move, really, that converts those immobile into green. It's would be more useful if it was a move that gives you your green. All right, let's try something else. All right, second moveset for Andre, basically a variation of what we just tried, although we're replacing the move that generates the row of immobile gem by the chokehold, which is a 9 MP green move, submission, generate 26 random submission gems, and do 125.7k damage for 6 turns while submission gems are on the gem board. Remaining sub gems turn into immobile gems. It is pretty effective as a submission because it has a eye damage, although unfortunately it also has a eye cost as far as MP goes. So we're gonna have the same issue we had with the previous moveset, wherein you don't really have anything giving you your green, and you need to use double trainers, and in feud it's not even going to be enough to be able to go off on your first turn. You're still going to need a match, unless you're fighting someone that doesn't have any defensive perks, which you're barely ever going to see. So you could try with triple green instead. Again, you would have the MP issue. The reason I'm not going with triple green is if you happen to fight someone that does manage to kick out, especially, for example, if there's the feud perks that helps with the kick out. If you don't have that yellow move, you're pretty much dead in the water. You're going to need like 2 or 3 gem matches to get going again. And that's if you get your proper color. At least if you get that yellow move, it will make you recycle on the next turn because it's going to give you your green. So that's the whole reason I'm using that. Don't really need the two-handed choke slam if you have the chokehold anyway. Would be a little bit overkill, so let's give that a try. Trainers and coach remain the same, by the way. We're still using Steel and Breeze for trainers, and Hogan and Eddie for coaches. So we're going to start off slower because we're going to use the submission on the first turn, which is going to end our turn, obviously. We're going to have to wait the second turn, although that pretty much makes sure that he's not going to be able to do anything. Although in the case of HBK, he does have 1 MP move, so he might still do something. We lost a good chunk of our immobile gems. Let's see how much the finisher is going to hit with now. I like that move animation though. 1.3, that's still a good amount, but I like the first one better. In feuds, that might be a bit better just because of the submission, at which point you're probably better off boosting the submission more than the immobile gems. But again, in feud, this spec probably wouldn't do it for me because it's too slow. You'd probably get hit for quite a bit before you can even get anything going. Now let's try a completely different spec. Alright, last moveset we'll have a look at for Andre. It's going to be the Forearm Club, 8 MP red move, deal 155.6k damage, and choose a 4x4 area to destroy. The double underhook suplex, 8 MP red move, deal 89.7k damage, and make 16 random gems into X-Break gems. And the giant elbow drop, 6 MP yellow move, deal 79.2k damage, and choose 5 gems to make into red gems. Now this is much more manageable as far as move costs. We're going to use Kofi so that we start with more yellow, plus he also adds 1 red, which is going to be useful for our elbow drop. I'm putting in Slick Rick so that all my gems do 20% more damage. You could go with specific colors like red, for example, or green, but yeah, I kind of like Slick Rick because he's going to add to every color, and you don't really need to make more X-Break either. I put in Hogan here, Santa Hogan, so that all my gems are going to do 2200 more damage for the same reason that I have Slick Rick. Don't really care about the extra 1 MP, it's not going to come into a factor here. And I got Omas, which adds X-Break gem do 100% more damage, since a good portion of the board, pretty much 1/3 of the board, is going to be X-Break. That's 1/3 of the gems that are going to do 100% more damage. That's pretty useful for that. You could go with Zombie Kane also, which adds 1 extra X-Break, and they do 25% extra. That could be an option as well. For the strap, I switched my gem for Fury gems. You could go with armor gems. I didn't have a red metal for the move for armor, so I went with all Fury. As I said, I got the metal here for move damage for red. Didn't put a plate on. I could put cheap shot. But other than that, there's really, like, you could use a general's order, which is whenever you break 3 red, get 3 yellow. But you're probably going to get your yellow anyway. Like, I'll put it anyway, but you're going to get your yellow anyway from all those X gems that are going to break the whole board of gems. So you'd have to be pretty unlucky to not have enough yellow. I'll put it just to have it just in case. Cheap shot is always a good option. Ed game's an option also. Let's try that. Maybe the 16x. Now we're gonna pick a 4x4 Rhea. I guess it's a good thing I had the general's order now because there's only 4 yellows. And we didn't hit one of them. Did 1.2 mil. And that was enough. If this was a feud, it probably would have kicked out, but we had the moves ready to go again. That's pretty much for Andre. I'm not a huge fan. Definitely the best of the Andres so far, for sure. But I got a feeling like the first moveset was definitely my favorite. But those move costs are going to be pretty damn hard to cover on feuds. So I don't know. Still open for debate, I guess. Thanks for watching, guys. If you're not already a sub, make sure to do so to be kept aware when I post new stuff. Have any questions, ask them. And if you like the video, leave a like and share. See you guys. Ciao.